welcome to Bingo Talk with Bingo Addict, just me, Tanya. Okay, so I know I get a plethora of comments, questions, messages, DMs on all my platforms, and sometimes I can't answer everyone. So what I want to do now is like kind of start this like maybe at the beginning of bingo or at the end of bingo, kind of film some different outtakes of me answering your questions. I hope this is going to be fun. We're going to do this, and each video is only going to be about maybe 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes only 5 minutes. It's whatever I have time for. So I am excited about this. It's called Bingo Talk with Bingo Addict. I'm creating a hashtag for it and everything. I cannot wait for this. This is something big for me. So we'll go ahead and get started with one of the main questions that everyone asks all the time, which is, how did I get into bingo? So I got into bingo simply by playing like in Bible school. When you're young, you play in Bible school, you play in Sunday school, you play at Bible camp. And then as the years progressed, I helped out at the YMCA camps. And so we played with the kids and we played with beans, and you get to play for candy, and it was like a real competitive thing. I am very competitive when it comes to gaming and stuff like that. Well, anyway, we played bingo so much, and I used to love winning bingo, and I like to help the kids win bingo. And then sometimes I would be kind of like, in your face, kid, like if I was the bingo and the kids didn't win. It was fun. I mean, it's bingo, right? So as time progressed, we had a bingo hall literally when I was in high school right by the house, and I never ever went. And went to college and came back and started working, of course, and used to pass up bingo halls all the time. And then my best friend Dimitri from high school, she was at work one day and she called me and she was like, hey, they dared us to go play bingo at this bingo hall. And I was like, okay, cool, let's check it out. So we went. We spent literally like $4, but we seen all these people with all this stuff, and we were like, what are they doing? And they were playing bingo, of course. So we sat down, we got our little daubers, and we had fun. And we would do it like every Friday. And time went on, and we never won. And then eventually one day we were like, oh my God, we got it, we won. We won $500, and we were like super excited on this $4 paper. And then, of course, she had her second son, and time went on a little bit more, and then finally we won again. So we went for 11 years straight, y'all, and didn't win but twice. But the whole time they were playing like all these little side games, and we didn't know what they were. So her career took off as well, and mine did too. So the schedules just didn't work out. So you fast forward to like 2014, my grandmother passed away. And instead of me just like going home, just kind of like grieving, I was like, you know what, I can't stay in this house any longer by myself. So I need to get out and do something. And Triple Crown Bingo was literally right around the corner from me. So I was on my way home from work, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop. So I stopped, and I met my bingo sister and one of my besties forever. I can literally say I have two best friends in my life, and one of them is Stephanie. I met Stephanie the same day I walked in, and Triple Crown made me love bingo. And I was still just playing paper. I seen these people with these computers, and I'm like, what is that? Stephanie was like, this is what we're playing. We're playing bingo on computers. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah, you should love it. And I was like, okay, well, let me try. So I eventually won on paper, though. I won my first $750 pot on paper, and it was the Bonanza game. And so I started buying computers after that. She was like, buy computers the next time you won this, you spend that money on that. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I did. And I seen that it was like 66 of the cards that I was playing on paper inside the computer. And I'm like, what? So I started winning on the computers. And she was like, well, you need to try these pull tabs. And I was like, pull tabs? What are those? She was like, they're like mini games, like mini bingo games. And I was like, okay, well, I'll try them. And I started off with all players. I would buy like 3 of them. They're like $3. And I won. I was like, oh my God. So then as they're playing these other things they call horse races. And Triple Crown Bingo is known as a horse race bingo hall. And so basically I'm like, what are horse races? She was like, Tanya, you don't see the numbers going? And she said, look at the B row. Those are your jockeys. And then at the bottom is your tail end of them. And you need to get all those numbers before the other ones. And I was like, oh, that's what they were doing, So she was like, yeah, go up to the pull tab stand and get like these little jockeys. They were the $100 jockeys. And if you win those $100 jockeys, you get $100 in pull tabs. So I was like, okay, well, I don't have to buy pull tabs like that. So I started going up more and more and more and learning these $100 jockey races. And when I won one, they brought me $100 worth of tabs. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I started winning on the tabs that I was winning. So I got addicted to the jockey races. And I'm like, okay, let me go ahead. So eventually I stopped winning the $100 jockey races and said, screw it, I'm gonna buy my horses on my own, or I'm gonna buy the tabs on my own. And that's what I did. And then I became like this bingo junkie, you know. And I shouldn't say bingo junkie because that's bingo junkies, that's Kiki's name, but that's what I became. And I didn't call myself that, of course. So Triple Crown was only open certain days of the week. So then I eventually was like, okay, everyone keeps telling me to go to this place called Big Tex Bingo. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Big Tex Bingo. So I went to Big Tex Bingo on one of the days that Triple Crown was closed, which was Mondays. And I walked in and seen all these pull tabs. I was like, oh my God. So I went crazy. And the owner, I met him, who I now call him my bingo brother. He explained this game called Mega Dab. Oh my God, and everyone knows that Mega Dab is like my favorite game. So I started playing a Mega Dab every time, and it was like I would come to Triple Crown and they didn't have Mega Dab, but I still liked playing. But the fact that I was itching to play Mega Dab, and they played like horse races that I had never seen at Triple Crown before. So I eventually just kind of migrated over to Big Tex. I went to Big Tex more than I came to Triple Crown. And then they were like, well, you know, it's a daytime hall over by Memorial City Mall. And I was like, bingo in the daytime? I'm like, what? So they was like, yeah, it starts at 12. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. So I went on Saturdays, and then eventually I started like going on Fridays. Like we would get off from work early on Fridays, or I would rearrange my schedule. And then I had the option to work from home too. So I was like, oh my God. So I started playing bingo at daytime and at nighttime. And I was like fluctuating between the two. So then someone was like, have you ever been to midnight bingo at Humble? And I'm like, what's that? They was like, yeah, they do the glow in the dark bingo on the first Saturday of each month. And I was like, really? And they were like, yeah, they also play it every Saturday at midnight. I was like, what? I got super excited. So I started doing midnight bingo then. And then eventually Big Tex opened up a daytime hall, which is called I-45 Bingo, which is their sister company. And was not sister company, the sister hall. So I ended up going there during the day a lot. And then on Fridays they had midnight. So eventually time went on, and then they opened up their midnight hall. So now here in Houston we have daytime, nighttime, and midnight bingo 7 days a week. And I became a bingo addict. It is just crazy. And now I'm here where I'm at now. It's so much fun. It can get out of control sometimes, but I've been blessed to be smart about certain things. But there you go. That's my story of how I became a bingo addict.